just thought, oh, a prophet is a guy who can just read my mail.
Right. Yeah. She would have never taken that journey.
I could take you down to a bunch of guys sitting in Private's Alley that can give you very accurate words.
Sure.
Does that mean they're filled with the Holy Spirit?
Cost you $30.
You'll have to pay for it, but they can give you accurate words. I had friends in high school that did that.
Look at all the Pharaoh's counselors. And
Exactly.
sorcerers.
They could do it. Were they doing that by the Spirit of the living God?
No.
No. And so my heart grieves for people because they get tossed to and fro. Right? It grieves for them because they get tossed to and fro in this kind of a thing. Right? Because they crave, they covet God so bad. It almost becomes a lust for God.
Yeah.
Right.
A lust to know God.
Yeah.
But the only thing that can satisfy that is the revelation of Christ in them. Right?
The hope of glory.
The hope of glory. And see, what God's doing is restoring the prophetic to what it first and foremost actually is, which is the declaration of Christ and Him crucified. Now, from that foundation, we can give different people different words depending on where they're at and what they need and how much they can hear. Right? And I use myself as an example when that guy, that Navajo guy came. There's an example in the Bible of Paul. When Paul was about to go into Rome, and he was going to be taken prisoner. I can't remember the guy's name, but he came and wrapped up his arms and his legs and bound and said, "You're going to go and you're going to be bound." A lot of people get confused and think that guy was trying to tell Paul not to go. Well, maybe that's what that guy thought, but Paul talked all the time about how God had shown him from the beginning the things that he would suffer for the spreading of the gospel. So Paul had a word from God already that he would be bound. And he already was feeling a desire to go into Rome and to preach the gospel. And he already knew this is what's going to happen. That guy just came and confirmed. And they all thought, no, right, you can't go, Paul. This is what's going to happen. And Paul says, not only is that the confirmation that I am going, that's what I knew was going to happen since I first saw Jesus. Right? He showed me the things that I must suffer. Right? Not that God was going to bring the suffering, but he showed that Paul, the apostleship that was going to come out of him to the Gentiles, it was going to take place while he was in captivity to the Romans. And he was going to teach them the gospel while he was in jail. And so that guy came and confirmed a word for Paul to kind of give him an attaboy. Not like Paul was wavering, but just like, the time is now. Right? Because it's kind of like, is the time now? Am I going to be offered up or not?
That's right.
Am I going to be around here for a little while longer, or is it now? And this guy comes along and, that's it. You see?
Yeah.
And so you can get words like that too. Right? But you can get that kind of a word from anyone.
That's right.
Right.
That's not the gift of prophecy.
Right.
Do you think some of the men that give these words and that call themselves prophets really believe that they are hearing from God when they aren't?
I think some of them do.
Yeah, I think so.
They think they're a godly man hearing from the Lord when in actuality it's not God at all.
Sometimes there's a lot of confusion. Can I tell you an experience that I had?
Absolutely, man.